Hey, I'm BJ Armstrong. I'm the owner of BJ Armstrong Custom Homes, standing in one of our newest projects right now. This is the house you've been watching the time-lapse videos of. If you've been watching the drywall, you watch us frame it, you watch us do lots of things. And we thought it might be fun to just sit in here and figure out kind of where it is and what's going on today. We finished drywall about a week or so ago. So there's a whole bunch of trades. This is an exciting time on the job because lots of different people are involved over the next couple of weeks. Probably no less than 5 trades in here today. So if it's a little bit noisy, it's because I don't want to stop the work. Right now we're working on hard surface flooring. So all of our hardwood flooring is going in, all of our ceramic flooring is going in. That really paves the way for us to get to the fun part, which is trim work, all the base moldings and interior doors and cabinetry, all the good stuff. So these guys have been working at it for about 2 days. Honestly, it goes really, really quickly. It's just probably a little bit tedious. There's a couple of cool things that we're doing in this house that are probably worth looking at. This being one. We do a lot of heated tile. I don't know if you've ever gotten out of the shower and you've probably never even noticed that your floor is cold, but if your floor was warm, you would definitely know the difference between this and a cold floor. Well, here's what it looks like when it's going in. This orange mat is kind of the base layer. You can see the wires that run in it, just like an electric blanket, right? Those warm up with the electricity that runs through them. So this, just like anything else, is a process. They glue down the orange mat, they come in and they run the wires, and they bring the electrician back in. They have one more coat to go over the top of this. I can show you what that looks like in the other room. And then they can come in and lay the tile. So there's successive days and just lots of detail that goes into this. So you can see why we can't just hire anybody to do this work. We actually go find the best people that we can find. In fact, the wood guys that are here are the same. I think my wood guy is probably the most particular guy in the world. He won't lay this hardwood until the floors and they're just the right moisture level, right? If it's not, it creates problems down the road. So those are things that we've been dealing with internally over the last week or so. Lots of phone calls and texts is what that looks like. The paper that he's laying down here is a moisture barrier. So any moist air that might come up out of the basement, this actually traps it and puts that barrier between the hardwood and the basement or the subfloor below it. Keeps the wood nice and dry, keeps it nice and tight, won't warp and crack and all that crazy stuff that water does to wood. I'm just thankful he doesn't have a plumber butt. One of the tricky things about this stage, these wood guys will be finished in here today, which means that as early as tomorrow, I could have a trim carpenter in here setting all the cabinetry. As we plan jobs like this, we time out. We need cabinetry to arrive on certain days. Unfortunately, in this case, it didn't work that way. Because of some delays that we had early on in our selection process, we actually don't have cabinets here today. All right, we're standing here in the master bath. A couple of things worth noting. First, on this floor, this is the next stage of that heated tile. You can see this concrete kind of surface that we've put over the top of that mat. This will give a stable surface as well as allow good adhesion for the ceramic tile, right? So that it never pops off and cracks and all that fun stuff. The other thing we're noting in here is this custom shower. We often get questioned and criticized even about how much a custom shower costs. And it's worth looking at this stage just to be able to see it. I don't know if anybody knows, but all of this is hand formed and concrete basically. So in this messy room behind us, the guys have been busy mixing up concrete and doing all this stuff so that it can be poured here. This is a very labor intensive, very tedious process. But getting it right at this stage is the thing that is going to ensure that it's never going to leak. We use a concrete board on the walls. You can see that any penetration that we have in that concrete board, we're going to use a waterproofing component, right? That'll keep any water that should get behind the tile and make sure that it doesn't end up in places that it's not supposed to end up. We're going to do this bench in this one, which is cool. Again, the homeowner wanted this exactly that way. Not a lot different than the floor. We lay it up with concrete block and then we overlay it with that concrete board. So we're standing outside. It's relatively quiet out here, but let's say that we're poised, right? I'll go with that. It makes me feel better. But we've been waiting actually on some stone and our brick to arrive. We've got all that here on site now. So this is always that impatient time where there's so much going on. We want to see the outside come together as well. Again, we're always trying to put the puzzle together, and we're coordinating schedules. The brick mason has this on his list, and as soon as he finishes up another project, he'll be coming this way. He's maybe a week or so on this job, so all this stone will go up. We're going to get a nice time lapse of that for you so that you can watch that happen as it goes. Every contractor's worst nightmare. And actually, here's a good hint for you if you're a homeowner, you're building a house right now. An empty garage at this stage is not a good sign. This is our staging ground. Normally, we would have this packed full of cabinetry, maybe some appliances, all of trim parts, right? All of the next pieces of construction stage out of here while everybody works inside. Unfortunately, this one's empty for a couple of reasons. The biggest one is cabinets. We have some very special cabinets coming, and they've taken a little bit longer at the manufacturer than we anticipated. So because of that, we actually didn't deliver some of our other materials that are ready, mostly because we're gonna sit for a couple of days and just hang out and wait. It's distressing for everybody, but at the end of the day, it'll make for an awesome job and make it exactly the way the homeowner wants it. So, hey, thanks for joining me today. This has been a whole lot of fun to do. If you haven't seen our time lapses of this job, watch them. And we'll try to tie it out here again as we get a little bit closer to the end. But that's all I got. Have a great day.